Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. Well, I've been reading in Ecclesiastes lately. And in Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter, the 10th verse, there is a statement that's profound. Now, let me give you a little background knowledge. Ecclesiastes is traditionally attributed to Solomon. Solomon, like mega wealthy in his day. He had tons of money. He was king, had tons of land, had tons of horses, livestock. Heavens, he had tons of wives. That's not a good part, by the way. But he was, to use common language today, loaded. And he wrote out of his wisdom some pretty insightful things. And in the 5th chapter, the 10th verse, he says, "He who loves his wealth will never be satisfied." He who loves income, values money, will never be happy, never be satisfied. It's an interesting concept. The idea that most people have is that if they just had more, they'd be happy. The Tevye from Fiddler on the Roof, if I were a rich man, if I were an ittle bitty rich, idle-dum, I'd have, a house with one long staircase going up and one even longer coming down. By the way, that doesn't really work. But aside from that, it's a common concept even today. If I only had more, I would be happy. And in the midst of that, a man who had, in a sense, everything, said, if that's what you love, if that's what you're pursuing, that's never going to make you happy. Paul said it this way to Timothy. Paul said, the love of money is the root of all evil. Paul doesn't say money's the root of all evil, because money can be used for many good things. Paul says the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. And it is. Greed and drive can move people to do things they wouldn't do otherwise. It can move them to do things they shouldn't do. And it all falls back into this observation in Ecclesiastes. If money is what you love and money's what you're pursuing, then you're never going to find happiness. So I want to close all of this with some wisdom from Jesus about how we then should be pursuing our wealth and things of that nature. Jesus said, if you look at the lily flower that's out in the field, this lily flower doesn't have a job. This lily flower couldn't make a thread if it tried. And yet, nobody looks as spectacular as a beautiful lily. And Jesus causes the person to think that it's not what you're loving and pursuing in terms of your income, in terms of your money, that's going to bring you happiness and joy. But it's being who God made you to be, where God made you to be that. No one is so happy, no one is so satisfied, and no one is so full. So I would suggest today, as I'm thinking about this, that my goal today is not to love money. My goal today is not to pursue money. My goal today is to be who God made me to be, where God made me to be. That, by the way, that might mean God made you to be someone to make money, to work. But then you do it, and you do it to Him. There's just a difference in what the motivation is. So let's chew on this today. It's a video thought for the day. I'll give you another video thought for tomorrow, but that about sums it up for me today. God bless you.